Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you here for the first time, my name's Melissa Reed and I'm a mixed media artist from Pennsylvania. So if you were with me last week, you saw me make a large piece that I then cut down to make smaller pieces out of. So this week I've got a piece of watercolor paper taped into 3 sections. So what we're going to do is make 3 4x6s on this one sheet of watercolor paper, and we're going to make a series. So we're going to be making them all at the same time, and you'll see as we go along, but doing it this way is going to ensure that they work together as a series. Now, I went and got some new acrylic inks this week, and I'm super excited to try them out. So we're going to be playing with those in this piece. I'm not sure exactly which I'm going to be using in the 3-piece series, but I do want to test all of them out. Now I have my mat board handy. It's a 5x7 with an opening that is 4x6. So I'm going to have that close at hand so that I can test out different orientations and ways that I might want to frame these pieces as they're being worked on. And yeah, other than that, we're just going to see how it goes. The very first thing that I'm going to do here is take a pencil and just kind of make some marks to get things started, to add a little dynamic to each of the pieces. And then I'm taking a watercolor brush and just laying down a little bit of water. The very first ink that I'm using there is Liquitex Transparent Raw Umber. And I decided that I'm going to go in with some Rowney Payne's Gray along with that, because I think those two colors are going to look really cool together, and I was right. I love the way they look. Now I added the water first so you could see that spread as soon as I laid down the raw umber, and I'm just taking the back of a paintbrush and moving it through to create some lines. So while I'm letting that dry, I decided to play around with the other new colors that I got here. I just want to see them, and this is a Prussian blue. These are all Liquitex. And this is a deep violet coming up next. Those are such pretty colors. This is actually the first time I've used any of the Liquitex acrylic inks, but I'm pretty pleased with them. Now this is an iridescent copper, and it did not spread anywhere near as much as the other ones, and that's kind of interesting because when I have used metallic alcohol inks, I would have the same thing happen. The metallics never would spread like the other ones, so I don't know if that's just something that metallics do, or if I just happen to have a batch here that doesn't seem to want to mix up well, but I'll just keep that in mind when I do decide to use that in a piece. So I'm just taking my, I think I have a bamboo skewer there, and now it's the end of a paintbrush also, and I'm just making some designs in the ink there just to get a little bit of movement. I was just curious to play with my new colors and see what was going to happen, even though I didn't necessarily want them in this piece. Okay, so everything has been completely dried, and what I'm going to do now is just take that mat, and much like I did last week, I'm going to move it around on each of the pieces and search for a composition or the beginning of a composition which may already be present. So this is kind of like a brand new jumping off point. As you all know who have been with me before, I am an intuitive artist, so for me that means starting a piece and then letting each step inform the next. So I don't really know exactly what each step is going to be as I begin the piece. Much like here, I'm looking for composition, but once I find the composition that I like right now, when I start to lay down the next layer or do the next step, whatever that even might be, I'm not sure at this moment, that's when I will actually make that decision as I am sitting down to actually begin it. So what I'm doing here is just looking for that jumping off point. And if you decide to begin a series like this, don't forget to turn your paper in other orientations. You could even have a larger, skinnier mat and flip it actually on its side and have like a row of those 3 pieces going in like a landscape orientation across. But you know, never forget to flip things around and look at it from a different viewpoint, because you might actually see something that you didn't even know was there. But once I'm happy with what I had, I'm just making some little pencil marks as a guideline there, and I'm getting my straight edge and my X-Acto knife and just cutting out the pieces. And as I'm working here, I am kind of starting to think about what I might want to do next. And I do think that I want to make some black lines in the piece, maybe just to add some directionality. I'm not sure at this point. So that's kind of playing in the back of my head. I'm also considering at this point going in with some collage. Um, I don't think either decision would be bad, but I'm again at the point where I am doing these cuts, I'm not 100% certain. So once I get everything cut out, you will see what I ultimately ended up going with. And while I'm finishing up with these cuts, I just wanted to thank you all for all of the comments and the likes and the hypes and so many new subscribers. I'm very happy to have each and every one of you here. You're helping out my channel so much by doing those things, and they cost absolutely nothing. So if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please do. And if you like what I'm doing here today, give me a thumbs up and maybe a hype if you would like to help me push it out to more folks. So on this last piece, there were so many different ways that I wanted to go, but I really like that in the bottom right hand corner there, that little tiny bit of ink there. I like the shape and how it kind of angles up to the top right hand corner. So that's what I ended up cutting out to have inside my frame. And I was even just kind of playing with the little test pieces there, and I could cut something out of there and play with it, and maybe I will do that at some point in the future. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and get started with these. This one needed just a little bit more trimming to make it fit on the mat. And I'm going to put these all out in a line here in front so you can see what we're dealing with. Pardon my very well-loved gator board there. So yeah, right now they might not look like much, although I think they do, and I really like the way they look. I like the colors a lot. I like the movement in them from the pencil marks that I put in. And I'm just playing around one more time with a little bit of figuring as to where I'm going to finally put the mat board so that I can start the next step. Now, I'm getting a little bit of my Liquitex Mars Black acrylic paint out, and I'm just getting an old gift card. And this is something that you've seen me do in many of my pieces. If you've watched my channel, I'll actually put a link to some of the ones that I use this in. And this is just a way that I like to apply paint. Those cards are great for so many different things. And you'll see me here as I go back and forth by holding the mat above the piece just to kind of make sure everything is within the frame of viewing. So you'll see this in a second. And I'm just adding some of those lines, and the contrast of the dark black over the more transparent lighter colors that I have on there is really working well. And I like how it's giving some movement and also a focal point. Now, arguably these did already have focal points within them, which is part of the reason why I chose the orientations that I did, but this is adding even more so, plus a lot of dynamic to them. So I've decided that this is the way that I'm going to proceed with all three of these, and then I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to be adding collage or if I'm going to just leave it possibly, or if I might add another element to it. But I'm going to take each and every one of these individually and work some of these lines in. Now, of course, you don't have to use an old gift card or anything. You could use, I mean, honestly, anything, a piece of cardboard, some cardstock. You could use a bamboo skewer. You could use the edge of I don't even know, just about anything you have laying around. Or you could be more precise and use a paintbrush or a paint pen if you wanted to do that. That would certainly work. I was looking for these more imperfect, kind of broken, um, not solid lines, so that worked out really well. I also didn't thin the paint out because I wanted it to kind of skip in certain areas to really kind of make sure that I wasn't getting solid, perfect marks down on the watercolor paper. And what we're going to have here at the end is three pieces that would work individually, but are kind of meant to be viewed as a set. So it's a fun way to think about your work, and you could then certainly hang them all together, or you could sell them separately if that's something you're interested in doing. But it's fun to work in series, and it really makes your mind think in a different way as far as what can I do to pull all of these pieces together. And it's actually kind of a good way to think about your body of work as a whole. Okay, so once those dried, I did decide that I wanted to go in and instead of doing collage, I wanted to put these really sketchy birds in. So I'm actually using a Sharpie gel pen as my first writing implement there, and I'm just doing these really quick, rough, sketchy birds. And I looked at each one of the pieces before I put the birds down and thought about where might be the best placement for them. And that came from looking at other focal points within the piece, other dark areas, the directionality of the lines. And the purpose of doing that was to just find balance in the piece. So I switched out to a Pitt pen real quick there and decided I didn't like that. And then I went in with my fine point black Posca pen, which I love and I use for so many different things. And that was giving me the darkness that I wanted, but I did really like those sketchy lines that I was getting at first. And again, this is not meant to be perfect. Nothing about the piece is meant to be photorealistic, obviously. These are just very quick little ink studies, and I just really liked the way that they looked when I added the birds to them. So this is number 2. And I'm doing the birds in a different orientation on each one too. I could have added the same bird to each one. That would have been a way to unify all of them. But I really think that it's a little more visually interesting to have the different birds rather than the same one copied and pasted onto each individual piece, because it still carries the same theme throughout the piece, and that can be a unifying factor as well. That's the second one. And now we're moving on to the last one. I don't know why this one took me a minute to get started. I knew exactly what I wanted to draw there, but my hand was just not cooperating. This one I'm going to have the raven kind of facing over to the left. Again, starting with that Sharpie gel pen to make my super sketchy lines, and then I'll end up darkening everything up with that Posca pen there at the end. Incidentally, I will have links to everything that I used in this video at the in the description. So if you are interested in anything else, please stop there and check that out. I will also have links to all of my other social media. I have a Facebook page, also my Instagram, as well as my Etsy shop, where a lot of the things that you have seen me make are actually up for sale. So don't forget to stop by all of those. But this is my last little bird here, and I'm just giving him a very fluffy, sketchy tail. And once he's done, I'm going to show you each of these individually, and then I will line them up and show them all to you together to see what they might look like if they were all displayed together. Okay, so we have the bird in the bottom right-hand corner there, which works nicely in balance with the dark shape over on the left-hand side and the upper left-hand corner. And this one that's the one that I just finished with the bird in the bottom left-hand corner, which kind of works well with the balance from all of that heavy weight up at the top. And this was the first one we did with the bird in flight in the upper right-hand corner, which balances out that dark shape at the bottom left. And I just really love all of the movement in all of these, but especially this one. And I'm going to show you here in just a moment what they look like all next to each other. Okay, so if you chose to hang these as a series, this is what they might look like. Of course, you could put them in any order that you want, but I'm really happy with the way these turned out. I hope you enjoyed them too, and if you did, keep me in mind for more videos. I put out a new video every single Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I hope to see you here back with me again next week. Take care and have a great week.